Hey guys, Slimber here, and I haven't said that in a while. That feels fucking weird, but I'm back. I'm doing a video on Prageru since it's been 4 months, and I figured, you know what? Let's come back to the video I've done like 10,000 of, and we'll, do one on this. They're bitching about fact-checking, apparently, in this one. We're gonna find out what their take on it is. Well, they're opposed to it, but we'll find out why.
Good news. Thinking for yourself is no longer necessary.
Oh, thank God, Prageru. Thank God for your videos, because I hated thinking for myself. That was such a pain in the ass. Thank God I have Prageru videos to watch, so, I don't think for myself.
The new heroes of the internet will do it for you.
Our heroes, Prageru. They'll think for you. They got 5-minute videos for you to watch. That's basically propaganda. Come on. We gotta, Prageru. They saved the fucking world. We don't gotta think for ourselves anymore. They literally made thinking more convenient by doing it for us. Man, they were right. The free market is innovative. I don't have to think for myself anymore.
Companies you've never heard of, but who are watching out for your best interest.
But wait, Prageru, I've heard of you, unless... You can't be talking about Learn Liberty, because they don't do it as good as you guys. They're not as good with the propaganda as you guys. I guess we'll have to watch and see.
Meet one of them. They call themselves NewsGuard. A perfect name, because that's what they do. They guard the news. They make sure you only get the good stuff.
Yeah, like some good quality sources, like Prageru and The Daily Wire and Babylon Bee. Not some of that liberal mumbo-jumbo like Fox News.
The stuff you can trust. Best of all, NewsGuard is backed by Big Pharma, Big Tech, the teachers' unions, and even the government.
Yeah, they're backed by the evil giant pharmaceutical companies, the evil Silicon Valley tech giants, and a bunch of underpaid, overworking, hardworking teachers, and the government.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong.
So, if NewsGuard says something isn't safe to read, you know you should scroll on. I mean, if you can't trust the government, who can you trust?
I mean, to be honest, you can't trust anybody. I mean, that's the honest answer. Everybody probably lies. You guys definitely lie. I've seen the big sources lie. I've never done it, but you guys don't know that without fact-checking me. But if you look for sources on things, you might find, the truth. Certain things might line up.
Wait, you don't like what I just described? Sounds more like a nightmare than the world you want to live in? You like to do your own thinking?
Nobody who unironically watches Prageru likes to do their own thinking, okay? Listen, you're literally watching a video to tell you how to think. It's a 5-minute fucking video that's literally telling you how to think. This whole series is basically about that. It's propaganda. Like, what the fuck?
You're perfectly capable of figuring out which sources are credible and which aren't.
I know you guys aren't capable of figuring out credible sources or not. I've seen you guys source yourselves before.
That, you say, is the right and obligation of a free citizen in a free country.
While I do think it can be a little dystopian to have the fucking fact-checking thing on things like Twitter or Facebook where they have a monopoly on that type of stuff, at the same time, you still can read it. Nobody's stopping you from reading that stuff or going out and seeking it. You have a right to read it. But no, you don't have a right to not be told it's bullshit. They can tell you it's fucking bullshit. They have the right to tell you it's bullshit. And with how slander laws work, if you can't objectively prove that it's not bullshit, well then, yeah, they have every right to, they could take it down if they wanted to, really. I mean, you don't have a right to a platform, legally speaking.
If so, welcome to my world. I'm the CEO of Prageru. We're fighting against companies like NewsGuard every day.
So you can lie to people? I mean, come on, your issue with it is that, yeah, they're fact-checking you because you're full of shit. Your issue isn't with it being kind of dystopian. Your issue with it is you're getting called on it because you're full of shit.
We didn't pick the fight. They did.
Yeah, we were just sitting here spewing a bunch of nonsense, and they told us we were wrong. Oh my God, they're trampling on our rights to spew nonsense.
We have our own take on the events of the day and the events of yesterday.
So basically, you guys spew a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of bullshit, right? That's basically what you just described right here. Alternative facts. I mean, I can have my own take on what color the sky is, but it's still objectively blue.
We're happy to have you make your own judgment on whether we've got it right or whether we've got it wrong.
I mean, nobody's stopping them from ignoring the thing that says you're full of shit and determining that themselves. And that's kind of what they did. They determined that you got it wrong and fucking put it on there. Other people don't have to listen to that and they can click it and fucking watch it anyways. Nobody's stopping them. To be 100% honest, although I think it still could be kind of dystopian in certain ways, I still prefer this method over deplatforming. Because at least if there is something like, you know, fucking Facebook defending Israel or some shit, fucking people can still click on it and see that, you know? That, hey, no, Israel's bombing a bunch of Palestinian kids and shit. People can still, you know, look at that shit.
But there are many organizations that don't have that attitude, like the aforementioned NewsGuard. Let's look a little more into this company, which, by the way, is a for-profit enterprise. Prageru is a 501c3, a nonprofit.
While yes, you guys are fucking doing your taxes as a nonprofit, we all know that's fucking nonsense. Because you guys, according to ProPublica in 2023, you guys had an extra $13 million sitting around. Where did that money go? According to ProPublica, you were paid nearly $1 million, $907,000 you were paid to be the CEO.
We're big fans of profit. Profit makes the world go around.
Yeah, you specifically like profit for you, too.
But if your business is, say, promoting COVID vaccine efficacy, and your biggest client is the public relations firm for Pfizer, it's fair to ask whether you'd be completely unbiased when judging a story questioning the safety of the COVID vaccine.
All right, this is coming from the same people who get a bunch of money from oil tycoons and say that fucking climate change isn't real. I mean, while that is concerning, I mean, you guys were literally paid just to fucking spew corporatist, conservative propaganda, and you know you wouldn't get donations if you didn't do that. So I guess my question is, what's the difference?
But that doesn't trouble NewsGuard. They're convinced their judgments are free of any taint. Just ask them. They'll tell you. But who are they? Their co-founder and CEO is a Democratic Party loyalist. He's on record dismissing the Hunter Biden laptop as likely a hoax, maybe even perpetrated by the Russians. The NewsGuard staff, not surprisingly, is mostly comprised of left-leaning activists and ex-journalists.
Yeah, they're fucking ran by left-leaning activists and, you know, those people who literally have the job of fact-checking, apparently, because they used to be journalists.
And guess who they don't like? Yeah, they really don't like PragerU, the Daily Wire, Breitbart, the Federalist, and other news and opinion sources that are not on the left.
I mean, I don't know about the Daily Wire, and there's a second one in there, but between Breitbart and you guys have definitely been caught lying several times by several people. I've caught you guys lying, and I have a video on my channel, if you go look, it's the climate change one, where you guys literally source yourselves with one of the bullshit things you say.
But let's not be too harsh. If you stray from NewsGuard's way of seeing things, they'll give you a chance to redeem yourself. Here's how it works. Out of the blue, they'll send you a list of accusatory questions on some hot-button issue. Could be COVID, global warming, or the World Economic Forum. If you play their game and respond, they'll ignore your answers and then pose new questions. If you don't respond, well, that just confirms NewsGuard's judgment that you're not a reliable source. Heads, they win. Tails, you lose. If you fail their test, and you will, NewsGuard informs their clients, PR firms, ad agencies, major corporations that you're toxic and that they should run in the opposite direction.
All right, so basically, if you opposed some mostly objective topics, then they tell other people that you oppose a bunch of mostly objective topics and you're full of shit. That seems kind of fair to me. I mean, the only people I think that would have an issue with that are the people who are full of shit.
For news and opinion operations like Breitbart, The Daily Caller, or American Greatness that live largely on advertising, that can get very expensive very fast. It might drive you out of business if you don't comply. But of course, that's the plan.
I mean, I don't know much about Daily Caller, the American Greatness, but in Breitbart's case, stop lying then. It's that simple. Stop lying. I mean, and if you do want to lie, find advertisers that, are cool with all that, like fucking Newsmax and them do. It's crazy because you guys like talk about how much you love like the free market and shit like that, but whenever the free market not works, but when the free market does, its thing, you guys get mad about it. Those advertisers have every right to not be fucking working with somebody they believe is lying to people. Those fucking companies have every right to tell those people that those people are lying.
Mark Hemingway, an editor at The Federalist, went through this inquisition. He calls NewsGuard an extortion racket. Having also lived through this experience, I can confirm that assessment. NewsGuard works in another insidious way. Big tech titans don't like taking grief from the public or from politicians who complain that their companies are censoring non-left viewpoints. Now, thanks to NewsGuard and enterprise big tech funds, they have a place to hide. They say, we didn't make any judgments. We hired this third-party fact checker, and they told us this story or that website can't be trusted.
I mean, while I agree that's problematic, that's like listening to a rapist when a rapist says, like, everybody should be, fucking treated fairly in a rape trial. I mean, while you're right, yeah, that's a problem. Your motivation isn't a good one. You guys just want an excuse to lie, and that should be called out.
In short, NewsGuard enables them to censor speech without leaving any fingerprints. Awesome. And now the government has gotten into the act. The Defense Department paid NewsGuard over $700,000 to monitor misinformation trends online, which is an Orwellian way of saying information that the Defense Department doesn't like. Same thing for the teachers' unions. One of the largest, the American Federation of Teachers, has made a deal with NewsGuard to screen content that comes into classrooms.
I mean, that one seems really fucking fair. I also would not like a bunch of impressionable kids without common sense to be, read a bunch of nonsense in school. Yeah, I could understand why the teachers' union would be paying them to do that. The other shit, yeah, is a little problematic, but shit like that is the good part about it.
It's hard to get more left than the AFT. No need to guess what perspective they're counting on NewsGuard to screen out.
I mean, to be fair, I trust the working educators over you guys, the fake university that's just a fucking scam to fucking funnel money from oil companies.
So, if you don't want to think for yourself anymore, NewsGuard has got you covered. But if you do want to think for yourself,
do not, under any circumstances, watch a Prageru fucking video unless you're gonna watch it and be critical of it.
You've been warned. If NewsGuard has red flagged a source, all you need to know is that the left doesn't want you to read it, watch it, or hear it.
I mean, the thing is, as I pointed out before, you can still click the link and read it. What they're mad about is they got called out for being bullshit before somebody could read it, or somebody got proof that it was bullshit before they could get into Prageru's fucking shit.
And what does that make you want to do? I'm Marissa Streit for Prager University.
Well, it makes me want to drink a zero sugar Dr. Pepper cherry. Cherry Dr. Pepper zero. You know what? That's a weird way to say it. Dr. Pepper cherry. Why does it say that on the can? It should be cherry Dr. Pepper, right? Does that not sound weird saying it the other way around? Dr. Pepper Cherry? That sounds pretty fucking odd to me. But anyways, guys, I'm back. Hopefully I got another video next month. And yeah, Slimber out.